Kirby Air Riders is a beautiful, tranquil game about exploring the scenery around you. Its simplicity helps it feel like you're on a relaxing road trip with your favorite Kirby characters. The faint melancholy of Kirby Air Riders inspires you to pause and reflect on life as you know it. Yeah, alright, none of that was true. Air Riders is genuinely one of the most unhinged video games I've ever played, and I mean that in the best way possible. This past weekend, I spent a few hours with the global test ride, and came away pretty impressed. For this playtest, there were two main modes available, traditional races and the trademark city trial. The races themselves were locked to just playing against the CPU, so I didn't spend much time with that, but the city trial mode really resonated with me. You spawn into the map with all of the other players, and for the next 5 minutes, duke it out to attain power-ups and new machines. Throughout the match, there will be different events that take place, such as a boss spawning, meteors falling from the sky, or an impromptu race. At the end of the round, you tally up all your power-ups and pick one of 4 randomly chosen final events to compete in. Final events include objectives like staying in the air for as long as possible, collecting the most food, grinding on rails, and much more. Whoever comes out on top of that group's event gets the win. Each match of City Trial is a steady buildup of insanity until you reach a point where you can sometimes barely even control your machine. It's a 5-minute marathon of flashing colors, lights, and UI markers attacking your eyes. If someone looked at this footage and told me it was bordering on brain rot, I'm not sure I would blame them. But for me personally, it worked perfectly. And when you start to break it down, I think it's actually kinda genius. I say this because the mayhem is not thrown together for no reason. It's not just tossing things at you to activate your neurons and fry the last remaining crumbs of your attention span. All of this is calculated, at least in my estimation. When playing City Trial, there usually isn't a whole lot of planning involved. You hop on the first machine you can get your hands on, collect power-ups you aren't even aiming for, and end up with builds that may or may not be beneficial for the randomly chosen events at the end. For some, this has been a confusing gameplay loop, one that may leave something to be desired. But this unpredictability is the core reason why the game mode works. It would not be fun to load in and say, okay, I'm gonna go for all the speed power-ups, and then just do that a million times over. There is no perfect meta in City Trial that you need to strive for every single time. Even if there was, it's not like you could reliably go for it with how wild things get. In other words, most games ask you to pick a desired build and work towards achieving it. But in the case of Air Riders, the madness essentially picks it for you. And this is why I think the often out of control gameplay is no mistake, it's completely intended. By bouncing you all around the map with giant Gordos crashing from the sky while a hamster zooms past you at breakneck speed, you're constantly forced to make split-second decisions. Is it worth going for that box you see in the distance when someone might zoom in and snipe it? Should you try and get your rider back under control and aim for the particularly fruitful area you have in mind, or just let Sakurai take the wheel and potentially find something even better along the way? The pandemonium of Air Riders forces you into a headspace that almost no other game does, and that's probably why you're seeing mixed reactions. Some people get it, and some don't. That's not to say you're wrong for not feeling it, it's just a matter of if it clicks for you. And for any fan of the original, this is no surprise. Kirby Air Ride sits at a measly 61 on Metacritic, yet has become a cult classic fan favorite for many. It truly is a game unlike any other. While some ultimately may not like it, I think this will only help Air Riders in the long run. All of its unorthodox decisions that may turn off some are the exact same things that will make others completely obsessed with it. And honestly, I appreciate any game willing to push the boundaries like that. Another reason I may appreciate Air Riders more than the average person is because I'm a huge fan of the Kirby franchise, and this game feels like a total love letter to the series. As you play, you'll hear iconic sound bites and songs from the various games. There are characters on the this roster you haven't seen represented since the 90s, and there's an overall vibe that presents this game as a major event, not just some spin-off of a B-tier Nintendo IP. It's the kind of reverence for the source material we usually only see from Mario Kart or Smash Bros. Games. It's so awesome to have Kirby given that same treatment, and makes it an immediate must-play for any fans of this universe. With all of that said though, I still have one concern. Before playing the test, I was on the fence about whether I would buy this game, primarily because I'm just not sure it will be worth the $70 price point. That's not to say there isn't going to be enough content. Sakurai did do nearly 2 hours worth of Nintendo Directs after all, but I just wasn't positive I would personally play it long enough to justify spending that much. And despite all the praise I've given so far, I do continue to feel this same lingering fear. The chaos is quite entertaining, but how long will it stay that way? I really enjoyed playing City Trial for the couple hours I did, but how many times can I drive around the same area until it grows old? Did the traditional air ride races feel boring because it was against the CPU, or is this just not going to be a game mode I want to engage with? I suppose none of these questions can be answered until the full game releases, and to be fair, the final version will have much more to do, like the challenges and other game modes that were not present in the test ride. Oh, and the collectible gummies, of course, can't forget those. There's no way to say for sure what kind of sticking power it will have, but I can confidently say I was left wanting more for the time being. Almost immediately after the test ended, I already felt myself wishing I could load up another round. When watching my footage back while writing this, I'm getting that same itch all over again. This is certainly a good sign, and it's all you can really ask for after a limited time demo. So if you're like me and are a little unsure, I highly recommend checking out the next global test ride before buying the full game. Assuming you're seeing this video within the first couple days, the playtest will be back up and running this coming weekend on November 15th and 16th. As I start to wrap up, I'll end with this. Kirby Air Riders is a game that is unapologetically itself. It knows exactly what it wants to be, and never strays from that vision. In a world where so many games are just trying to appeal to the masses, I have to respect any that aren't afraid to go against expectations. And with that in mind, what really sold me on this game was seeing Sakurai talk about it. When I watch these directs, I see someone making a game he's dreamed of for years. Many of you have probably heard the story that Sakurai's involvement with the original Air Ride was a 3-month rush job where he was brought in to try and save a floundering project. But with Air Riders, it feels like he is finally getting to make it the right way. He's not coming in and trying to fix something broken in 12 weeks, he's being given the time and resources to create the game he always envisioned. Right now, we're in an era where gaming developers and executives have become a lot more reclusive. Understandably so, because people online have completely forgotten how to act normally. So the fact that we get to see Sakurai still front and center, telling us all about this new game with a smile on his face, it's really refreshing and makes me want to pull for it. So while I could sit here and say, yeah, I don't know if I'll still be enjoying it after 10 hours, it's not worth buying, I can't really bring myself to do it. I'm genuinely just happy this game exists and got made. I'm thrilled for everyone who loves Kirby, and especially those who grew up with the original Air Ride. I was a bit skeptical coming in, and I'm still not sure I can wholeheartedly recommend this to everyone, but as my brain longs for more City Trial runs, I think it's fair to say I was sold by the global test ride. I'm hoping the final release will have even more for me to sink my teeth into, and I trust that Sakurai can deliver another classic. Before I go, I'd like to leave you with this clip I found on Twitter. If this isn't Game of the Year material, I don't know what is.